Good evening. This is Sharon from House of Prayer, and I'm here because Andrea, Child of the Most High, has put this article here for us to read, and she says, "Heads up goes to this link. Listen to this video, read the article. Make sure your head is not buried in the sand. Jesus Christ is your only refuge. Please make sure you go to my following community page and listen to what Sister Jackie had to share from the Holy Spirit." But right now, we're going to go to this article. It says, General says Operation Warp Speed Vaccine ready to execute. Now, I'm not going to play that, but I am going to read what this has to say. All the mainstream media outlets coronated Biden as the winner on Saturday. On Sunday, we have 60 minutes talking about how fast they're going to get these vaccines out. Then on Monday, we have the miraculous announcement that they're finished the testing more than 2 years earlier than it could possibly be done, reports David Knight on November 10th, 2020 show. Look at the deliberate timing of all of this is pure politics. Pfizer Senior Vice President of Vaccine Clinical Research and Development, William Gruber, told Stat News they decided in October to stop having their lab tests for cases of COVID-19 in their vaccine study. Instead, they left the samples in storage until the day after the election. Everything about this is a planned scam. I told you, didn't I, that Trump was stockpiling this for the military and the CIA. Democrat governors were declaring that vaccine isn't safe and hasn't been tested. I said at the time, it'll be an instantaneous 180 as soon as Biden is declared the winner. They got Trump to believe this was going to be his ticket to re-election if he rushed it. They then slow-walked it at the last minute. They waited for the media coronation of Joe Biden, and now they're rushing it up again. Here's how 60 Minutes is presenting this now. "60 Minutes host David Martin asked General Gustav Perna, the Army general in charge of Operation Warp Speed, are you ready to go if a vaccine is approved tomorrow? General Perna, yes, we are. Martin, what's the first order you're going to give? General Perna, it's a simple command of execute. Martin, so once you say execute, how fast does it get out there? General Perna, within 24 hours. Martin, do you have doses of vaccine already stockpiled? General Perna, yes, we do. Martin, how many do you have stockpiled? General Perna, I'm holding on to that number right now because I want to not create anxiety and we need to work through the details. A month from now, I'll have more. Knight comments, they're ready to execute. He may be talking about delivery when he says execute, but some sinister subtext for those of us who've been paying attention for the last 239 days. We've seen the executive orders, the masks being made mandatory, and the lawyers demanding that the vaccines be mandatory as well. Look at places like Ireland and China where they have travel passes. Now the pass is dependent on a test. Later, they'll just roll it over to be dependent on whether you've been vaccinated or not. Davos is openly talking about that with their Common Pass, which is already being used in some airports. Common Pass has said right now Common Pass has said that right now it's the tests, but soon it'll be the vaccines. Common sense should tell you where this is going. We're told by our world leader, Bill Gates, since the very beginning of this year, we're not going to get back to your normal life until you have the vaccine. They've locked you down and they've kept you that way until you take the vaccine. You won't be able to travel, work, go to school, or shop until you get the vaccine. This is what your real government is telling you. These people that put up for election are just puppets. This general specializes in logistics. The next part of the 60 Minutes interview is where they talk about how they're going to track this. Martin, when will you be able to bang your fist on the table and say, what happened to that shipment was going to Good Samaritan Hospital in Baltimore? General Perma, yes. And not only that, I'll know after it gets there how fast they're administering the doses that they were given. Martin then reports, Perna's ability to do that depends on a software program called Tiberius, which is supposed to link databases from across the government and the shipping companies into one unified picture that everyone can see. Knight remarks, anything's possible with the military-industrial complex. They can get you the vaccine without even testing it. It's a COVID miracle. They're just pronounced it to be 90% effective the day after the media coronation of Joe Biden. Normally, they'd spend 5 to 10 years testing it and still not know if it's safe or effective, but not this time. They don't have to test it. It's a miracle. They want to push these vaccines out. They're not going to wait for the pull of demand. They'll push it out, then demand to know all the details of who got it and who didn't. The Trump fans have been saying it won't be mandatory, but it will be. You better wake up and tell your president to wake up before time is running out. 60 Minutes reports Chile is confident Operation Warp Speed will eventually provide the vaccine New Jersey needs, but she worries whether enough people will show up to get vaccinated. Judith Chile, we surveyed 2,000 healthcare individuals, physicians and nurses, and we know that there are over 60% of the physicians said they wouldn't get the vaccine. We know that about 40% of the nurses said they would line up to get the vaccine. Martin, that sounds awful low. Persicelli, nurses, I guess, are skeptical. Martin, what does that say about your general population? Persicelli, there's a lot of vaccine hesitancy. Yeah, we've got to overcome the vaccine hesitancy because we've got a push model. 40% of doctors and 60% of nurses are vaccine hesitant. That's something that have to overcome. That's when they bring in the guys in the blue uniforms like the militarized police that you've seen in Victoria. That's your solution to vaccine hesitancy. 60 Minutes concluded their report with the question to General Perna, what's your worst nightmare? General Pernas responded, we get vaccines to the American people and they don't take them. Shame on us. Hey, I was already sick. I don't need it. Shame on us. Hey, I don't believe in vaccines. Shame on us. Just shame on us, and it does keep me up at night. Yes, shame on you, General. They're going to mandate it for people who already had it. Shame on you, General. Shame on President Trump for funding this. Shame on him for bankrupting this country and putting us in an inescapable debt hole to the central bankers. Shame on us for staying silent. Concluded Knight. And that's the end of that.